We're going to be taking a look at constructors and how we can use them to perform the actions we saw in the last video. And the constructor is going to be a method we're going to make in our other class, in this rabbit class over here. And we're going to be naming this after the name of the class, right? So the rabbit method is going to be the constructor of the rabbit class. You're going to write public for it, but you're not going to include a data type here. So you go ahead and write rabbit, and we're going to have the method so you can open and close brackets right there, and we'll have our open and close curly braces. Now we want to find a way to allow this lemon class over here, the one with our main method, to use this private variable that we have inside of the rabbit class. And we know that when a variable is private, it can only be used by the class that it is in itself. So what we did in this last video, we saw that we snuck the lemming information from the lemon class into that variable by using parameters up here, right? We had the integer parameter a, and we used the set variable function to set the integer parameter a to age, which was the private variable, to store the information up here in this private parking spot, normally reserved for the rabbit, but the lemming wanted to park in that spot instead. So we're going to see exactly how we can perform those actions using this constructor instead. Now this constructor is going to get called upon whenever we create a new object. So whenever we create an object, whatever's going to be inside of this constructor will be executed. So we're going to do the exact same thing that we saw over here. I'm going to go up here and write integer a. So I'm going to be using this integer parameter a over here. I'm going to be passing it through, and I'm going to do the exact same thing inside here. I'm going to be setting age to a. So we're not going to be using this function over here, but I'm going to delete it in the main method over here, so we won't be using it. So we have all that set up. Now we can head into the lemming.java, and now I want to get rid of a few things in here, right? I just want to get rid of these 3 lines that we had from the last video, and those are the lines we used with the set variable function, right? We're not going to need that anymore because the constructor is going to be the one doing it for us. So now what do we have going on over here? I'll walk you guys through it once more, just in case you didn't see the last video and you want to watch this one first instead. Well, first thing here, we know what we're doing here, right? We create a scanner object because we want to have user input. We actually don't need that right now because we do not have that anymore. We don't have the set variable function, so we don't need that. So we have 2 things here. The only 2 things we really need. We have rabbit, which is the name of the class. We have rabbit object, which is what we decided to call our object. And you need to have an object whenever you want to access a class. Then you have the word new, and then you have the name of your class, and then you have open and close brackets right there. Now we were leaving those brackets empty for now, but if you want to pass something through your constructor, well, we saw this rabbit method over here, right, with the open close brackets. If I go ahead and put 25 in there, this means that 25 is going to be in here, which means that's going to set a to 25, and we know that we're setting a to age. That means age is going to be set to 25, and we're going to be able to store the number 25 up here. We're going to start getting rid of some of this clutter from the last video if we want to make things a bit more easy to understand here. I'll get rid of the set variable function. I will be keeping these other functions down here, and these ones were just used to allow us to print out their age, right? So we're going to be using these to just print out the whatever's like inside the get variable function, and in the get variable function we know we're just returning age. So these are just used to print out, right? So the same things from last video. But now we got rid of that set variable function, right? Now we see we have an error up here. What's going on up here? Class by, oh, oops, my bad. I got rid of the semicolon at the end there. I didn't even notice I did that. Anyways, okay, so we have everything set up here. And now if I go ahead and just run this, we can see that I press run, and it's going to say you are 25 years old. So rather than going through the whole process we did last time, you can simply just go ahead and do it like that. And we see that that information gets slotted in. We have the 25 in there. That 25 is going to get sent over here. Because we created an object, it means we're going to be able to execute our constructor. In this case, rabbit method is the constructor we have for the rabbit class, always named after the same one without a specified data type. We'll pass that information through over here. That means integer a is 25. We know that a is set to age, so that means age is also set to 25, and it's going to be stored up here in this parking spot. And we see that since we're able to print it out inside of the lemming class, we're also able to print out and access that private variable, which is normally reserved for the rabbit class. So if you have any questions about constructors or what we saw in the last video regarding how we can work with 2 classes and how we can work with some private variables, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.